Rising.
We're
We're
your
your
favorite
favorite
spiritual
spiritual couple.
couple. I want to, and y'all know the deal. I gotta go live on Instagram, so give it just one moment.
Keep your
Boom.
eyes open.
There we go. Okay, so welcome to Rising Rituals with Ray. I have a special guest, my dearly beloved Sahat. And what is Rising Rituals with Ray? It is an opportunity to give you a little momentum, a little energy for your day. Because 9 times out of 10, and you see my phone is ringing right now, 9 times out of 10, the first thing that people do in the rising is check their phone, and that's a total Russian roulette. It could be, something great, it could be something horrible. And so this is an opportunity to take the reins and take control over your day. So today's topic, we're really excited because it is something that I feel like as humans are consistently, wink, wink, working on, and that is consistency. Consistency is key, and the importance of ritualizing your routines.
So when you have that, everybody is consistent at something, but are you consistent at doing something that is empowering you and amplifying you on your journey? So, for example, you have the hypochondriac. They are consistent with attracting negativity in their life with their language. Oh, can't go out here because you might get sick, or can't do that because that's impossible. Like these limiting beliefs, that's consistency. If you have those limiting beliefs, that is something that you are feeding consistently. And so to break that pattern, you have to see that magnificence within you every single moment, every single plasma, every single day, and really cognize that so that you can shift out of those limiting beliefs that are not you. These are not you. These are not aspects of you. This is something that you've absorbed from your environment, but it's not you. It's not of you, because your true essence is abundance. And so that is your birthright. And so it is your birthright to manifest all your desires.
This is true. And I love that you said, like, even if you feel like you're not consistent, that you're consistent in your inconsistency, and what we create as habits, and all a habit is something that you do unconsciously, something that you do on the regular, like you wake up, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, right? That is an unconscious habit or ritual or routine. See, these are all things that can be intertwined. They're synonyms of each other. People, for whatever reason, like to shy away, like, oh, ritual, like that's magic. And it's like, you're doing magic anyway
That
by the
part.
spells that are coming out of your mouth, by the habits and routines that you already have. You are telling and signifying to your unconscious brain, the RAS, the reticular activating system, you are telling it, this is important. This is what I want to manifest. This is what I want more of in my reality. And so, I mean, that is like literally quantum creation. You are quantumly creating your inconsistencies, or vice versa, And so, when it comes to consistency, we talk about this all the time: be, do, have. First, you have to become the person. So, what does that look like? And it's like, Ray, you say that all the time. What does that mean? How do I become somebody I'm not? And I totally get that. But you have to identify it and associate yourself. So there's two ways you can get there. One, by taking yourself from the conscious incompetent level, to where you know that you don't know something, to a conscious competent level, to where you know, but you have to consciously think about it to make it happen. And you do it repetitively over and over and over and over again. Repetition is key. Consistency is repetition of a certain action, right? So consistency is key, repetition is key. Or you can do so by consistently modeling someone who is in the position that you want. So two ways to become, to be, do, have, right? Be, do, have. Okay. Become someone who does the action that will then attract the thing that you want, right? So, becoming, you can do so by bringing yourself to the consciously competent level and do it with repetition, or you can observe someone who is consistently doing it in that same level of repetition. And that will tell your reticular activating system, hey, this is important. Pay attention here. and will begin to manifest more of the like energy into your reality.
So when you model yourself after someone, you can model yourself after someone who's real in the physical, I should say, or you can model yourself, whichever one is that perfect catalyst for you. And what I mean by that is that that switch that gets you like that gets the lights turned on like, hey, okay, I'm ready to be different. I'm ready to step into my magnificence. Or you could model someone like a fictional character like Superman. Look at how a superhero, for example, always shows up. They have their alter ego, they're Peter Parker or Clark Kent in their regular clothes, and they go about doing the mundane and working and stuff, but they always rise to the occasion. So have that switch in you where it's like, you know what, this is when I'm not in that mode, this is me. But then when I'm in that mode, it's super me, or it's the elevated version, the cosmic version of myself, and visualize that. Put your hands at your waist, and really take that superhero pose. Stick your chest out, and lift your head up like I am ready to do all of it. And it gets that inner child really coming out and exercising that youthfulness, that divine infant that's within all of us, that is also that alchemist. And that alchemy is transmuting that energy, transmuting that state of lower emotions that we sometimes go through into something that's beneficial, into something that allows growth and allows you to see the opportunity in each moment, in each situation that you're presented.
Hmm. I love that you said that, like, program it into yourself. You can have that switch. What's amazing is what creates your reality are the three things: your focus, your language, and your physiology. Your focus, what you're constantly thinking about, the vibrations you're putting out into the universe, your language, the vibrations that are going through the crystals that are your teeth, creating these somatic frequencies that actually bring forth what it is that you are speaking about. And then your physiology, what is your body doing? What is your state like? Like you said, put your chest out, put your chin up, put your hands on your hips, right? That is the ultimate like power stance. So you can change your physiology like that, which will also change your emotions, which are what? Energy in motion, right? So you can change your emotional state. So if you ever go to a Tony Robbins event, we call them Tony Robbins concerts because that's what they are. So if you ever go to a Tony Robbins concert, it's like he gets you pumped up the entire time, and he says this consistently: make your move, make your move, make your move. Create a move that will trigger in your unconscious mind to assume a certain state. So, like, one of them was like this. We used to like her, you know what I mean? Like, bring out that energy. And it could be something that you do, like, for example, if you have to speak in front of a large group of people and like that is something that you are afraid to do, right? Before you go on stage, make your move. You know what I mean? And step into from that Clark Kent to that Superman identity, right? Or woman or whatever. You get it. But switch into that identity, because identity is the sense of being. It is how you associate yourself, the adjectives and the descriptors that you associate to yourself. That is your identity. So if you step into a new identity, then it'll be easier to do the things and then attract the things that you want to have in life. So allow that and like reprogram yourself. Like whenever you're feeling in a low, first of all, get yourself to a peak state. And a peak state is where you're full and high energy. Play your favorite song, do a little dance and shake that ass. I don't know. Get yourself to a peak state and then make your move. And then do it over and over and over again. And what's going to happen is the repetition of that is going to program your mind that when I make this move, I am in a peak state. Okay. So when you do that and you put yourself in a peak state, and let's say one day you're just like out there feeling a little sluggish, feeling a little low, feeling a little down, guess what? You make a move and you snap right out of it. I had a client ask me the other day, like, how are you always so positive? I told her something that I was going through like the last couple of weeks and it was a lot. She was like, I see you every day. Like, how are you so positive? And it's like, because I have these tools. I express my emotions. I feel what I feel. Don't get me wrong. Like, I had a meltdown or whatever, but I snapped out of it in enough space for me to be able to do what I have to do. And when you have certain tools, you can utilize them to keep you consistent, to keep those thought waves and those thought patterns consistent. And the more you learn how to interrupt the pattern and choose, because in every thought, in every action, there is choice. When you learn how to interrupt your current patterns and choose what is going to take you to the desired future or desired outcome, that is where you gain your power. And it is the consistency of doing that in every moment that is going to get you there.
And so when we talk about identity, a lot of the times what we identify as, what we ID as our entity, what we say what we are is not what we actually are. It's all programming. So unless you are saying, I am the God that is within me, that is within all, then everything else is just programming. It's falsified, or it's some way to put some kind of control on you, whether it's something that it's intentional or unintentional. For example, when you identify as, oh, I grew up in this certain area, so this is just how it is. I'm the way that I am just because that's how I was raised. Well, now you're limiting yourself to something that was programmed in you from youth, and you're not allowing growth from your youth, because what you were told and before you even graduated school is how to think, how to believe, how to navigate, what to do. And that's not really conducive to your growth unless you were exposed to, you know, a um, a wide range of everything that this world has to offer, and you were given that choice. If you want to eat a certain way, if you want to believe in certain things that maybe your parents didn't necessarily believe, but that's very rare that we have those parental units that allow us to express ourselves in such a free manner. You look at children that, draw on walls, or draw all over things that they're not supposed to. But it's that inner child that's like, yo, the earth is my playground. Like, let's cut up. And a
Don't
lot
draw
of
on my walls.
and I'm not encouraging that. I'm not telling your children, hey, go let them draw on the walls.
It's not going to end well for that child.
But you have this identity where it's like, when you do that, and and someone tells you, you say like, oh, I'm happy, or I drew a happy face, and the person says to you, no, we're not happy because of what you did. And it does something inside of you where it's like, wait, I just express glee and joyfulness, like, and I get pulled down for that. Like, what is that about? So it causes that mixed signal at a very young age on what is acceptable and what isn't, how we should express ourselves and how we shouldn't. And that begins to,
Create limitation.
it does create those limitations, and it reinforces that programming of, oh, well, a boy should act like this, he shouldn't cry, or a girl should be like this. And these are just social constructs that keep us disconnected with each other and disconnected within, more importantly. And that's why that consistency is so key, because the more that you embrace your divine self, your true nature, or who you are at your heart center, and you express yourself, communicate that in a clear and free way, the more that you'll receive that, because you are that open channel. Yeah, hey, plant. You are that open channel, and and it allows you to both send and receive clearly with clarity.
Hmm. So, one of the hardest things to do is to change your habits, to change your thought processes. That's one of the most challenging parts about coming into this world and having that free choice is you can allow the world to program you and condition you, and you can remain that way. Or when you reach a certain level of consciousness, you can choose to break the programming and program yourself. So, one of the best ways for me to reprogram myself is to consistently listen to some kind of audio. I would listen to channelings, Abraham Hicks or Cryon, and I would listen to all types of like the podcasts are blowing up right now. Pick you a podcast that is talking about the thing that you're looking to overcome, whether it's creating happiness. Shout out Susan Blanton with Create Happy Now. Shout out the Steady Steppin' podcast, Destin. Shout out M4 Millionaire. What is it? Melanated Millionaires in the Making, something like that. It's M4. It's
Yeah,
four M's. It's Melanated Millionaires,
making moves, making
something in the making. Anyway, M4
they awesome
podcast.
though.
Yeah. And so yeah, follow you a podcast, follow Social Proof. Follow you a podcast that's going to get you in the right mindset in order to break the pattern that you have. You know, if you flood your consciousness, one of my favorite things to listen to is Your Wish is Your Command. It's a 14-hour disc series, where basically it these group of people went to the Swiss Alps, paid $10,000 for this like 2 day or 3 day event, and they recorded it on CDs and they sold those CDs for like $1,000, right? And that CD series is basically breaking down the mindset of manifesting your true desires. So it's called Your Wish is Your Command, the money making secrets they don't want you to know about. And what happened was Kevin Trudeau, along with many other like secret society members, like 33 and the Third Degree Masons, like there were like some people from the Brotherhood, like these like secret societies that are run by the elite class. They came out and like they drew back the curtain and was like, it's time that the public and the people have access to this information. And so they told us, they let it all out, they aired it all out. And what keeps the elite elite? So I would listen to that over and over and over. The Richest Man in Babylon, that's one of the most like influential financial books for me because it changed the mindset. I know y'all be talking about Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's a great book as well, but The Richest Man in Babylon really gave me strategies and tactics and like examples on how to change that mindset around money. Now, when I get money, I look for assets. What is going to pay me? Like, and I've learned how to live on like bare minimum in order to create that generational wealth so I can invest my money into something that's going to bring me more money. If I take 5 years and I live on the bare minimum, and I continue to invest and flip and invest and flip, where am I going to be in 5 years, But the pattern that I grew up with is, oh, you got the money, you got to spend it, right? So being able to break that pattern and consistently, like, okay, change the mindset, change the framing, change the perspective in order to really get what it is that I'm looking for in life. I want to own an island. I want to have a spiritual retreat on the island. I want this island to be eco-friendly. That takes capital. So we have to learn how to reframe. And if it's hard for you to do it on your own, listen to somebody who's doing it or who has done it. Listen to somebody who can help coach you on that path, who can get you on the right, and listen to it over and over and over and over again, because it's going to literally sink into your mind. And so when it comes time to take action, you are able to be in the space where you are already becoming the person who does the type of actions that's going to attract the things that you want.
And one of the key components in staying consistent and manifesting is your intentions. So when you have that intention that you are abundant and therefore abundance is your birthright and it should overflow in your cup so that it can overflow into other people's cups, it really opens you up because now you're telling the universe that, hey, my abundance is not just for self-preservation or self-worth or selfish needs. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish in a balanced way, where because that's where that self-love comes in, so that you can express that love to others. And that intention, when you really tapped into your divine nature, whatever that looks like, you want to say it, the source within, the God within, it's the same thing. It's that same radiance that we all have that connects us to everything. And so when you look at how the ascended masters moved, and in such stories like Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East, where scientists went across the world, starting in the Middle East, and explored different areas, but were initially met by an ascended master who looked like he was 30 years old, but was really about 400 or 500 years old. And they talk about how in their region, it's not something that is special, that you have to be born with. You are born with everything. Everybody is born with this innate ability to express that God within. And that's what Master Yeshua or Jesus was talking about, was be that Christ. And when you are that Christ within, because he was just showing you how to achieve the same thing that he did, when you embrace that Christ, you embrace that God within you, you truly do see that you're so infinitely abundant that you can manifest anything through your will alone by being that God. And so when you operate in that space, and you think about when I was talking about earlier, having that switch, having that catalyst is like, you know what, this is what gets me in that mode. So whether it's a superhero or whether it's seeing and cognizing that God within you, that's also within everyone, that's within everything, even to its minute particle level, to the entire cosmos, and that you're a part of something grand because you are grand, you are magnificent. It really starts to get those neurons moving in a way where you manifest the things that you desire instead of manifesting the things that you don't.
The things you
So
fear.
the things that you fear, and that's where those that changing that language comes into play, where we're not trying anything. We we don't not have. I know that's a double negative, but you are abundant, so
You
that
lack nothing.
exactly, so everything is at your touch. Everything is within your reach. So say speaking it as if it was already here, like, yo, this island that we have is popping. We have a amazing healing retreat that works with you on every level possible, and really guides you back to remembering that divine nature within you. And we got such a lit community on the island because it's already there. The potential is already there.
It's in the vortex.
Your future self, which is you're experiencing in the now as well, is already there. So claim it. You have that Tesla. You desire to have that Tesla because your future self has that Tesla. Hey, I got this Tesla, or whatever that is for you, and know that the more you do it, because you're programming with your cymatics, with your frequency, what you speak into existence, because the throat chakra is the telepathic receipt, or the telepathic transmitter to what you're sending out into the universe. And so when you are speaking, that you are speaking words of power and you are flowing in your power. And that's where that manifestation comes in, when you are consistently staying in your power, flowing in your power, flowing with the rhythm of the cosmos, with the universe, because everything does is light, sound, resonance. And so everything in the universe has a rhythm to it. There's nothing erratic that happens in the universe. The only thing that's erratic is within human nature. But once we cognize and step into our godness, our goddess or God energy, then you can go beyond those constructs, because you see that these are all mental constructs. These are all things that were placed upon you, and things that people read from books that they're just regurgitating to other people, instead of really going within, or take that information and then meditate on it and be like, how does this affect my life? How does this amplify me on my journey?
Mhm. I love that. So if you're someone who is struggling with consistency or struggling with that discipline every single day, that is exactly why we have created this retreat that is going to literally ingrain into your physiology a way to activate and engage yourself, mind, body, and spirit every single day. That is the way that you flow. And we're going live at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern with Let Glow and Flow today, talking about this topic even deeper. So join us on YouTube at Collective Consciousness Channel, or Steady Stepping Podcast. Will be live at 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And the Let Go and Flow, or not Let Go and Flow, the retreat. You know, if you're someone who's like, I do some of the things, or I'm just not consistent, this is for you, because once you ingrain it into your physiology, you ingrain it into yourself as a habit, then it's natural. You get up and you do it without thinking. So what we did was we took 8 to 10 weeks worth of coaching and condensed it down to a 4-day transformational experience. So if you're someone who is looking to take your life, your business, your relationship, your finances to the next level, you have to balance yourself, mind, body, and spirit. You have to have the consistency. You have to engage in the discipline. This is the way.
This is the way.
So go to collectiveco.info/retreats and fill out the application, fill out the survey right then and there, and we will contact you and set up in a meeting with you to see if you're a good fit for the event. Also, we have a free ebook that we created. We noticed that there are 7 spiritual mistakes that people are making, 7 biggest mistakes after your spiritual awakening. And a lot of these mistakes are unconscious. A lot of these mistakes people don't even know that they're doing. So we created this amazing ebook, and we like to over deliver. So there's a couple bonuses in there. And we give you hacks on how to overcome those mistakes. So go to 7, and that's the number 7, spiritualmistakes.com, and get your free ebook today. Do you have any closing words for the folks?
Just to be aware of what you're consistent in, because once you bring awareness to something, then you know how to shift it in a way that's going to benefit you. So we're all consistent at something. Let it be something that amplifies you on your journey.
Mm-hmm. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. Thank you for joining me this rising. I appreciate the value you gave everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. And yeah, y'all join us at 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Central on YouTube, where we will be talking about this even deeper with Destin of the Steady Steppin' Podcast. Shout out, Destin. All right. Y'all have a beautiful, magical, and manifesting day, and I'll see y'all in the rising.
Love y'all and vibrate in your